In this battle, I wanted to try a classic Empire competitive / quick battle army against an undead army that we've started to see more of. So it's crypt horrors, a lot of crypt horrors, 6 of them. 6 skeleton warriors. There can also be skeletons with spears. There can also be skeletons with there can also be zombies. Then Vargeists, 2 Vargeists, a bunch of Fellbats, the Manfred von Karstein on the Hellsteed because of the speed, Necromancer. So what I've just brought the trusty old spear line for the Empire. I've brought the Witch Hunter. I've brought the Light Wizard on a Pegasus. And I've brought the, not even Karl Franz, just an Empire General on a Griffin. And I have 5 Demigryph Knights. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the direct damage spell from the Light Wizard. And I'm going to snipe the Vampire Count General as much as possible. And the range is 250 for this spell. So already in the first seconds of the battle, the Vampire Count General is in range of said spell. And although a few bolts miss, I'm already doing damage to him. And since I am very fast on this Pegasus, I can just run away from the flyers that come here. And the cooldown is 5 seconds, so you can see the bats work sort of as a screen. Some of the bats took damage there for their for Manfred, but you can't do this with your general when you're the Vampire Counts. I mean, sure, you do want to get in and use Buna or Spirit Leech, but the range of 250 on this guy and the recharge of 5 seconds means that this is going to happen when you... I mean, I've hit him 4 or 5 times in about 25 seconds of time, and already the Vampire Count General is dead. This is probably the most reliable character killing spell in the game because of the range and because of the low amount of mana it costs and the high range. So now the Vampire Count General is dead, and at this point I'm pretty damn sure I've got this game. So I'm just going to send my flyer there. These flyers could have been kept back and kept safe until the main line had engaged everything. But the reason why I'm keeping my cavalry this close to my spears is that if the flyers decide to fly over and start attacking me in the rear, I can destroy the flyers very quickly with my demigryphs. And if the flyers attack my demigryphs, then the demigryphs destroy them very quickly. So I'm sending my general here up against the Vargeists. The Lord has recently died. Shouldn't have a problem dealing with these Vargeists. Now the skeletons are going to tie down my spears, which I am completely fine with. I'm not going to use my demigryphs against them at all. The skeleton warriors charge in, charge a bonus of 6, not too worried. The Witch Hunter lends some support here with his accusation. And now it's time, now that the threat from the flyers is pretty much gone, it's time to remove the Demigryph Knights. Now I could have sent the Demigryph Knights in here to support against the Crypt Horrors, which I probably should have. Because now the flyers are attacking my Demigryph Knights on the flanks here. The same thing is probably going to happen over here. But I wanted to get my Demigryph Knights around and attack these units in the rear while the spears hopefully held. But I don't have my general nearby to use hold the line and stuff like that. Here's a unit of horrors that have been forgotten. So the Demigryph Knights are going to charge in and destroy them. And the reason why I have Demigryph Knights with halberds is of course that Demigryph Knights with halberds have a bonus versus large, a bonus versus a unit like these Crypt Horrors. flyers have all but been taken care of by the flying monster here. So I'm sending him down against the necromancer. Should be able to kill the necromancer relatively quickly.
Raise your weapons!
Some magical sniping again from the light wizard. I've said this before, but wizards can take far too much damage. The wizard should, in my opinion, die almost instantly when attacked by these Vargeists. That would make them less powerful, and you would need to babysit them, which I think is how a wizard should play. But like this, I'm just using the wizard like a drone, hovering above the battlefield and sniping things whenever his mana has regenerated enough. So I have my demigryphs. The spears have done their part. The vampire units are crumbling. The spears are immense for buying time for the demigryph knights to do their thing, and now the vampire army is crumbling and dying very quickly. So this battle was against Obelix, and he said he played poorly in this battle, and sure, he made some mistakes, but it sort of goes to show that my army, in my opinion, had the least potential for fuck-ups, because all I had to do was use my light wizard to snipe his general. If the general got even closer than that, I could use accusation. I can just plop down my spears in a line, leave them there, use the demigryph knights for support against the horrors, and the vampire count army is a powerful one. There are some variations on the vampire count armies that can make them even more powerful. The thing is, you cannot use your spellcaster offensively because of the low recharge on the light wizard. The light wizard is almost a direct counter to the spirit leech of other factions' death magic, especially if you're backing him up with a witch hunter, and he can't support his units very close that way. You saw how quickly the light wizard took out the necromancer, and the range of 250 and the low recharge enables, or the fast recharge enables the light wizard to do that. He can just fly around, send off missiles every 5 seconds, and the only thing you can really do about it is keep your general back in support, keep your flyers close, or try to swarm the light wizard with the flyers. That could potentially work, but if you use all your flyers to swarm the light wizard, then your flyers become vulnerable. But it could be worth it. It could be worth sending a few bat swarms and Vargeists, but the light wizard won't die that easily against that type of onslaught. He does have spells that he can use to defend himself against that. The flying empire general can come in and support blood roar. So I think it's far easier to use the empire army. It's far easier to use the empire army. But the vampire counts can be very, very dangerous in the hands of a skilled player. I know that Obelix has played mostly with the dwarves, and in Total War Warhammer, in my opinion, you need quite a bit of practice with each faction to be able to make them work optimally. And that is especially true for a faction like the Vampire Counts, where you need to be extremely careful about a few key things. If you are, the army is exceptionally powerful, but I still think the Empire is far easier to play with for most people. Strength and honor.